baby's home. Cairo is my baby's home. One bad Cairo night won't be long. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Women in Cairo, they will treat you kind and sweet. Catch you around and take you off your feet. Shoot you and knock you, teach you and cut you too. Shoot you and knock you, teach you and cut you too. They get through the graveyard, then for you. Cairo, babe. Cairo, babe. Women in Cairo send you down to your grave.
Where's Mac? Hello and welcome to the Christmas edition of Homesick Mac's Blue Monday live stream. Hope you're doing fine. We'll be starting off in a minute or two. So let me just check the Albert, great to see you. And greetings to Gwen as well from me and us here. Let me see if I could just make this a little bit nicer. So, great. Good to see you, Albert. Hello, Graham. Welcome. Christmas edition. So, the main thing today is going to be the song, of course, Silent Night in open G tuning. But prior to that, we're going to do the usual blues backup in standard tuning in E to start with, definitely. Let me just check one thing. No, that's out of tune. I was fooling around with this other guitar, but the little guitar is going to be in open G. So just to remind you guys, the open G is going to be, I'll show you on the screen for those who are new. It's going to be exactly noted which string is which, and then we'll tune up a little bit, and then we'll start to play that song. Good. blues back up. Let's go. blues back up. So nothing special here. I've done some little quirks that I don't usually do. There was this one up here. Right, so it's a lick that I combine with the basses and the rhythm here. So the lick itself is this. So we start off with a open second string, second fret, then I play the first string open, and then I jump to the fourth fret, from the third to the fourth, kind of slide into that, and then play open first string, that, and then open second string as well. So this is a lick by itself already, like a. It's nice ring into it. It's really a cool lick. So the last part is second fret on the third string, first fret, and then second fret on the fourth string, which is a note of E, and then just back it off with a bass. So the whole lick is. So I do it different. Sometimes I'll do it with other fingers, just depending on which chord I want to grab after that or what I want to do. But basically, oh yeah, okay, I do it mostly with the pinky. So because you usually go from this shape of the E chord, and then I jump up with the pinky, and then I go back to the form of E, but I just add this sus, whatever it's called, on the third string, second fret with the pinky, and then the first fret on the third string. It's kind of a bit covered by my fingers here, but or this hammer on. This can also be a part of a bit more advanced, but basically not so much, because you just need to grab the chord here, which is a chord of A. And back. The practicing speed is this. And then we add this. So second, hammer on, or the chord. So that will be in the rhythm of 1, 2, 3, 4. What's beautiful with this lick is that you can put it as a kind of syncopated, something that goes out of the 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say in rhythm like this. I mean, the more you master it, the easier these things would be, that you still maintain the basses, maybe not totally 1, 2, 3, 4, because the basses are this. The main thing is to get back into the groove. And this becomes more and more advanced and more jumpy the faster we play. So if we play a kind of moderate blues shuffle, and there are many ways to, right, so we can bend that note and so on. Well, okay, this was not really blues backup, but actually this can be used as a backup when you play with somebody who's playing lively and doing lots of licks and all that. Maybe this lick could be a kind of a response to whatever somebody else is playing, right? So, yep, that would be it. So let's see who joined us. Norwegian Attack, hello Geir, great to see you. Albert says, Mac, do you tune your guitar by ear or gas assistant? And do you tune instruments on the road and at home the same way? Well, I actually use this little tuning machine, which is it's called Polytune by TC Electronics. It's available in every music shop, online or real music shops. There are so few of them left, only maybe in bigger cities, and yeah, so I put it, let me show you. I put it on my peg head here, and it's a clam, right? It's a little clam thing here, and inside here there's a sensor that senses the vibrations of each note. Everything is digitalized, and I can even show you, let's say if I turn it on, and then you can see that it says I'm really nice on E on this first note, second note is B, G, D, A, and I'm almost all in green, just a little bit here. So this is a lifesaver. And if somebody's got a good ear and you don't have any tuning machine, you don't have a piano around you, just pick up the phone and listen to the signal. I mean, on a regular phones, the real phone that we used to have before, that note was a pure A, 440 hertz. And I used to tune my guitar a lot. Just pick up the phone and then I just start from the A string and then from the second bass string or the fifth string. And then from there, I just tune all other strings by the old system, let's say. On the fifth fret, on the fifth string, you have the open D. That's the note D. So just make sure that those two are the same. Then fifth fret on the fourth string should be the same as open third string. And then on the fourth fret on the third string should be the same as the second string. And then back to the fifth fret on the second string. Right. And then the big bass is on the fifth fret. Same as the open fifth string. So any string that you know you have the right note on, you can tune the rest of the strings in standard tuning like that. And since guitars are living instruments, the string height and the neck, how straight the neck is, or it should be a little bit bowed, not too much. But all these factors are you know, making it sometimes difficult to tune. And some songs I know that I mean, no matter how good guitar you've got, the physics of the guitar sometimes just prevent every chord to be totally in tune. There is a special system called True Temperament, where maybe you've seen it online, where the frets are not flat like this. They're not straight. They are kind of crooked. So they're the intonation of the string is not made by compensation here on the saddle, where we make some small adjustments where the string is going to attack the saddle, and then just by that move a little bit this point of being in tune. And up here, especially on Samyang guitars and on many older models, let's say Echo Italian guitars and some other manufacturers, they use this what's called a 0 fret compared to a regular nut on other guitars. Let's say on this guitar, we have a real nut up here, right? Which means you need to tune that. There are several ways to do that, and just making sure that all strings are going straight through that nut, and that the slot itself is not kind of V-shaped but needs to be just after the string. All that is avoided, and you just skip those worries when you have a 0 fret guitar, because then if the rest of the physics on the instruments are okay, then you're basically in tune. Let's say if I'm now, this is quite okay in the chord of E, but if I go to play something in G, this first string is a little bit flat, right? So I might, now it's perfect. Let's see if it's okay in the E as well. Well, yeah, it is. Okay, so, well, this guitar is quite well adjusted, and the setup has been done a couple of months ago, so it's really good. Although I do keep the string action quite high here, so it's not, if you give this to a jazz guitar player or somebody who's used to play fingerstyle, they would say, oh whoa man, what is this? It's a bit heavier, and the strings are like 16 on the first string compared to usually 11 or 12, and the second string is 18 compared to 16 or 17. So it's like 17 is not really, 17 is in your medium guitar set. But in a light set, usually you have 12 on the first string, 012, 016, 023, 32, 42, 53 or 54, depending on the set. The medium strings are a bit heavier. So I usually change the first two just because of the joy of playing slide, and I really want to have that heavy and nice. Alright, so when I play, let's say, Blue Stay Away From Me with Maria, then it's like a, I need that note on the second fret where the action is quite low. So if I had 012 here, I would need to be extremely careful not to get the buzz from the frets or anything. So it's like a, this is very nice, oily, smooth vibrato on the second fret, but then very clean notes where I have lots of headroom to even press if I need to get some special notes over there. Well, that was a long answer to a short question. So I can tune by ear. If a piano player gives me a note or something, then I can just tune to that. So no big problem there. Albert asks, just checking, did you ever play Fiddler on the Roof? Inquiring minds want to know. No, I haven't. Could be a task for some future edition of the live stream. Why not? It's a great song. Roy, good to see you, buddy. How you doing? A gentleman who's a good online buddy of mine, and he always has his live streams quite late. It's like 3 a.m. for me, so I can never be there live usually. So Roy says, I used to tune by ear, but my ear wasn't always great. Well, it's a daily thing. Like some days you just really hear well, and some days like, oh God, where am I? And let me tell you one thing. It's very common that when we're stressed just prior to a gig or something, and then usually lots of things are happening before we go on stage. And either there's somebody playing before us, or the audience is loud. Maybe there's this, break music in between acts, and you're just about to go on, and you're behind the stage and trying to tune, and everything is vibrating. So if they're playing loud music, then the basses are kind of bumping, boom, 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 and that can sometimes really interfere with these special transducer-based tuning machines. So this is really good. But when I'm about to just go on stage and play, I always have every processor that I'm using has a tuner built in, which is connected with my cables, which is then absolutely not affected by anything else that's happening around. It's just going right from my pickup into the tuner inside of that unit. And I also have a guitar pedal, which is just a tuner and nothing else, which goes before everything else. And that's also something that when you press on it and you tune the guitar, then the signal is cut off from the rest of the chain, so nobody's hearing you. And that's, I've done it in the beginning when I used to play through microphones, and I didn't have so much control from the stage down to the PA system. So, I did tune so the people could hear me, but I was quite fast. But now it's just a peace of mind. I do the good checkup and the tuning before the show, let's say maybe half an hour or something, and then I just go and warm up. I always warm up before the set. So I never just, put the guitar down, do the sound check, and then go do something else just to go back and play. No, I really need to warm up. I would recommend this to everybody, because even if you are capable of playing right away and you nail it, you deliver it, it's okay. It's still a stress for the muscles, for tendons, for the whole system if you just get onto it and start playing with the full power and all that. Somewhere along the way, you're gonna start paying for those moments when you were just kind of being stressed and played. I did that when I was working as a sound guy and roadie and playing as an opening act for a band that I used to tour with in Germany. And it was like, yeah, it's okay, but after you've been carrying those heavy loudspeakers, you just can't go on the stage and just play, because playing is subtle movements, and that's totally different from carrying the stuff, right? So it's different muscles and different angles and all that. So yeah, we need to be aware of that. Good. All right, so time for me to change the guitar. And let me see the theme. That's right. So here's your open G, the notes that you need. We've done this before. Right. Here's a little baby. I call it baby Samyang guitar. It's a very small and neat guitar. So if you're looking at the screen now and you're looking from the left to the right, so that note D is your bass. So we go from the E in the standard tuning, half step. So open 6th string should be D. Second, we go on the 5th string, which goes from A in the standard tuning down to G. It's a whole step lower. And what I usually do is I start picking my 3rd string, and then I go from A, let's say this is A in the standard tuning. So I go, we're there somewhere. But in order to make these two be in the same octave, I go to the 12th fret and play just the harmonics. So I just lightly touch the 5th string on the 12th fret and pick it. And then I compare with the open 3rd string, right? So you have them on the same plays on the piano, let's say, right? So it's like a there somewhere. Then the sixth string, so it's like a same like the fourth string open. And then the second string is a note of B. And to that, we don't have a corresponding string. So we just need to, like, you know, either use the tuning machine, or then we can go like, do the same thing as in the open standard tuning, because the second, third, and the fourth string in open G are the same as in a standard tuning. Right? And then the first string, why do I always keep saying right? I'll quit that. First string goes from E down to D. So in open G we have 3 D notes on the first string, fourth, and the big bass, which is beautiful when you just play this plain D chord. Rich, really heavy. So, let's go now. I promised in the description of this video, and when I wrote about the live stream on Facebook and on Twitter, that I'll also show the fingerstyle version for somebody who's not playing slide at all. You never tried it, you don't want to play slide. So, Silent Night in open G would, let's say, be nice to be played in thirds, which means you play 2 notes at the same time and they are in third, they are in harmony. So that's the first one. It's on the second string, 3rd fret with your index, and then 4th fret with your middle finger on the 3rd string. And then you play the same fret on the 5th fret on the 2nd and the 3rd string, and then open strings. So we're only playing these 2 strings, 2nd and the 3rd. One more time. So these are on the 1st and the 2nd string on the 7th fret. Then we move to the 2nd and 3rd string. This can might as well be just fretted with the whole finger on the 7th fret, like a, right? And then we need to find that note, do, 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 and let's see. So this note, so it's a 5th fret and open. So the easiest way to do this would be and this note is the same note as on the 2nd string but on the 3rd fret. So when we play with slide, there's a reason why we play it there and not the open string, because slided note can be vibrated and you can give it more life to it. So let's see if this, so if I would play this in thirds, then I would go last, and then the whole melody from the beginning. Then we need to go to the 4th chord, which would be C. And this can be just played. You see the same fingers on the same fret, 5th and the 4th, and back to the 5th. Also the 5th fret, just with a pinky here. And then we have the melody on the first and the second string. So this goes like. Fifth, fourth, fifth, fifth, and then we change to, I mean, my grip is with the pinky because it's kind of closest here, but you can might as well play it with. So it's on a 4th fret, 1st string, 3rd fret, 2nd string, and just move the same position 2 frets lower, and then you play open strings, 1st and 2nd, and then open 2nd and 3rd. So the whole second lick. One more time. Then we need to find that do do do, and that note is back to that. And then we have do 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 do, which is a nice note. So it's on the 5th fret, on the 1st string, then open string, and then open 2nd, then open 1st, and then we grab this 2nd string on the 1st fret, this note on the 3rd string, 2nd fret. And then we got that, the whole chord. So all this together with the basses could be like this. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. It was a tricky one because I would never play this only as a fingerstyle because I'm so into kind of doing this with slide because of these notes are so calling for the slide. So let me demonstrate that. Maybe I can do it with a glass slide because it's a lot of melodies and there's not too much of these big chord shapes. Because usually when I explain why I use metal slide on one song and then the glass slide on another song, it's because if I'm about to play some gritty old-timey blues in open G, then let's say these 3 chords, 3 strings in a, let's say C chord. A lot of body into this sound. If I do the same thing with the glass slide, then you got the this glass sound is a bit clearer. It's a bit punchier when it comes to trebles, to the higher frequencies of the notes. Metal slide gives you a bit grittier, more mid-rangey sound. It's more round compared to the glass. So, since we're playing this nice melodic song, I'll choose to play my Diamond and Bottleneck by Ian McWee. So, I'll just demonstrate it first, right? This can be played in several different ways. So the first one will be... This is nice because you reach that note on the 12th fret and play the first open string just like a... while the third string is still ringing. So it's kind of... And then down, down, down. There's a note of D. Or... So, okay, let's do the whole thing. These notes can be found anywhere on the neck, right? So if I want to play it in the higher octave, then so the reason why I'm reaching this note of G, although I could play it here. All right, I'll demonstrate it both ways. So the first one will be... nice in its own way, but the other variation could be... This makes it possible for me to glide all the way from the... And then in combination with the C chord that comes afterwards, I can just glide from the same note before cutting it off or just stop playing it. I just... Oh, sorry. So what I'm also utilizing here is, let's say this. See, I'm playing 3 strings, and this note is the main one. So. Here, and what I did here also was it's like a... This is a bit more difficult with a glass slide, maybe. Yeah, depends on the mood and so what I put in, what's new in the end was this. So this can also be played all the way with a slide in thirds, and so we're in the chord of D. And then we need that note of G, which is here on the 2nd fret, on the 8th fret. Right? At the same time, I could just do different ways to reach the same notes. So let's go to the, well, everything from the beginning. Oh, that's right. this lick as well. So you can combine the fretted notes and then play with the slide. So mistake here because I was thinking, okay, I'll do it again and do it this other way. So sometimes it's not too good to think too much while you're playing. So the other variation of this could be, so there's these nuances here in the way we reach notes and grips and these thirds, because you know this cool way would be clean, nice, everything's there. But if we want to give it some life and some emotion, then this you see, I glide to that note and then pick it, or and with a better control of slide, then there are some other things. I can show you this very slowly because it's really not that difficult. It just needs practicing. So you pick once, and basically if you just move it one half step, like a half fret, it's like it's not good. But you need to be somewhere in between. See? And these notes I'm playing are 8th fret, 10th, 7th, 8th. If I would just fret it, but then I play it with a slide. And it's always my advice to everybody playing slide, just keep that slided note vibrated until the last millisecond, nanosecond that you need, and then move to another note, because that's going to give you this wonderful flow when you play slide. So and then how can I make this nicer? It's not there. So these are 3 G notes, like a. So now this is a tricky one because you need to make sure that you don't press. You just press with the slide on the 4th string. You don't press. You just place it there. You angle it from the strings a little bit so it's not flat on the string, it's a little bit angled like this, and then you make sure that you play the open 5th. So if I really concentrate, I can execute it now here, because this is a kind of situation where I'm not really sure if I'm going to nail it. When you play live, some things just happen and you do them many times and that's it, but then some other times it just won't work. So so it's like a and this with CG. I love that. It's from, I've heard that from Joseph Spence, from Ry Cooder, from many other musicians who play these kinds of songs and these kinds of harmonies, and I just love that. So I would throw in a C there before the G, but that can also be done with playing the C on the 5th fret. So what we're playing it. So this is the last. So that's it. The melody is kind of, yeah, it's not easy to learn it if you've never played slide, but if you're kind of seasoned player, then this won't be such a big task. Unless you've never played in thirds, and unless your vibrato maybe is too stressed sometimes, because I've seen many people kind of stop vibrating because they get tensed. They get this cramp in their muscles because they're kind of using too many muscles. So let me remind you once more that vibrato is, in my case anyway, made by gliding sideways. See, so it's I just move my forearm here, and the shoulder is relaxed, and I'm just, that's it, nothing else. And my anchor is here with my thumb behind the neck, and then I just plays the guitar. It's like this. My hand is not turned or twisted in any way. It just goes like this, as I would have it, like here. And then just move all that, place the thumb behind the neck, and then just place a slide on the 5th fret, 1st string, angle it a little bit, and that's it. If I want to be more energetic, then I can move the slide more sideways, like. But the oily, nice, smooth vibrato is here. 1-2 millimeters on each side. All right, I lost the touch with the chat. Let me see. David, great to see you, buddy. Wonderful live stream today, this morning. Your morning, my noon. How do I know which notes would work? Yeah, well, basically, yes. The difference between piano and guitar, it's like, on the piano, you have the same set of notes in different iterations when it comes to frequencies. Let's say low octaves and higher octaves, all those notes are the same. They're just coming, in segments. And it's the same on the guitar, but it's not linear like this. It's more of like this. And then, since one string cannot be, every note is there on different places on the neck, and I've never learned scales, too much of theory when it comes to music. I kind of memorized either visually or audibly, so I know that my G note is on the open 5th string, open 3rd string, 5th fret here on the 1st string, then 8th fret here, and then on the 12th fret on the 3rd string. So those, and here on the big bass. So that's how I kind of, and then you memorize, let's say, some grips. So if I want to play a G chord in open G, that's one way. Then there's this major G where you have the 3rd as well. Then there's this from standard tuning G, which is beautiful just because it's different, because you kind of double on the D note. And then, so all chords from the standard tuning in G open are on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. So it's like this is F, this is C, G. And then I kind of memorize is where the notes are when I play them in different combinations. So let's say if I want to go put on your red dress, baby, 'cause we're going out tonight. Put on your red dress, baby, 'cause we're going out tonight. So I find those notes in standard tuning licks and just transpose them to G audibly, right? And then let's say the chords, the G chord is also up here. So I know that it's like 9th, 8th. Listen to these overtones. Right? So, same notes on the 12th fret, 2nd, 3rd, and the 4th string. And then here on 7th, 8th, and 9th fret. What's beautiful with this is that it kind of gives you ideas of, okay, well, what can I do here? Well, I can play this with a slide. Okay, so I just learned where the thirds are. Let's say and then I try to do that with a slide. And then here, right, I've heard those notes, do 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 do, and I just thought, okay, how can I play this, different, so that it's played with slide? And then I came up with this, right? Wonderful lick that I came up with, well, not wonderful because I made it, but I just like it. It's like so it's played by gliding to the 7th fret to 9th fret, sorry, and then fretted 8th fret on the 2nd string, and then open 1st string. Without the slide, it's right, but with the slide, you get this, and then play the same thing on the 10th fret. So I just kind of angle the slide from the strings. I use this in a wake up mom, turn the line down. Wake up mom, turn the lamp down low. So I combine slided notes with chords and these shapes, and then I know that there's so on the 2nd and the 3rd string, the thirds in the scale would be. And then there's also many different combinations and all that. But the long answer to your short question is I don't need to know where all the notes are, but at some positions and some grips are there, and then I know that, okay, the note I need is maybe 1 or 2 frets higher, lower, and I can reach it anyway. Follow-up question. You're also using a different tuning system. Yeah, well, this is Open G, and then there's Open D, where the difference between these two is that, so this sounds like this is a G. keep that in your heads. And that would be, let's say, in open D. If I play it on the 5th fret, that's the same key. And then I'm out of tune, baby. Let's fix it for a second. I was really fooling around with this guitar this afternoon, so I put it into different tunings. Ooh, I love it. So the G would be here. But this corresponds, if you would play a standard tuning and you put the capo on the 3rd fret and played an E position of the chord, it's the same, but that's a G. But since this is open D tuning, what we did here is that we went from, let me just take away this open G thing, which we don't need right now. The open D is from the 1st string, which is usually E, in standard, we go down to D. 2nd string goes from B down to A, and then the 3rd string goes from G to F sharp. This is easily found on internet everywhere, so I can just tell you which notes there are in the tuning, and then I can just demonstrate a little bit. Then the 4th string and the 5th are the same as in standard tuning. They are D and A, and then the bass string is down to D, from E one step lower to D. So then you get this. The difference from the standard tuning and the grip of E is just, if you just grab your guitar, which is tuned to a piano or to a tuning fork, and you play an E chord, then it will sound like this. The advantage of that is that I have that chord as open as a D now, right? And then the 5th, and the difference between the first tuning in open G and this one is that kind of in open G you have the 1st string and the note that the tuning is in, the G is on the 5th fret. It's the same here, it's just kind of twisted a little bit up. So the main note of the open D chord is on the 5th fret, but on the 2nd string. But then I also have it as an open string, which gives me another kind of, let's say, thirds when I play. So see, that note is not in the right position as in open G. That's why I chose it to play in open G. But so it's just, it would be nice to play it in open D as well, whatever. But open G for this particular song, Silent Night, is just kind of, it's really snappy and it's there. Oh, Tom is with us. Hello, Tom. Buenas noches. Yeah, Statesboro Lake, yeah. Thank you. And I love playing it. It's one of my absolute favorite songs, and it always reminds me of Sammy Mitchell. And because I haven't played that solo before I met him, I just heard his fantastic version, and then we recorded it on the CD, and then ever since I've played that on every gig. Doesn't matter what kind of venue it is, blues, country, jazz, whatever. I play Statesboro Blues. That's it. Albert. So where is the H key? Where check if I know. Yeah. Well, there is an open H or open B, but that's basically something else. If I grab my baritone guitar and I just compare this tuning, this would be corresponding the C in the standard tuning. But sometimes I tune this down to B or H. I guess you know, Albert, that in Europe, the note B is actually pronounced as H, ha. So the B is kind of not diminished, but the minor from ha, right? So it's kind of half step lower. But anyway, this is your C. Yeah. Lost in translation, no, lost in tuning. Yeah. All right, so I think we need to say hi to Christmas, and it's going to be great to just relax. And I'm kind of free now. I'm not working. I'm not going to work every day. So I'll be working on my website and doing some other things, preparing some projects, some gigs for the next year, do the summer booking, and we'll see. Tom is listening, and he's usually on Omo Blues Festival, which is great, but they still haven't booked me. So I need to talk to Agneta from the Blues Association over there and to see if I can get the booking, either solo or with Maria. We'll see how we'll do that. Albert is asking if I have a 12-string guitar. Yes, I do, and I promise to bring it up from my cellar, and it's still down there waiting for the better times. I need a spare part, and I need to make sure that the neck is gonna be okay. So I just didn't have the time to fix it. But it's not a fancy guitar. It's just a Sigma, which is a kind of daughter of Martin guitars. Cheaper version of Martin's, right? But I did play some great gigs with that guitar, and I have a very special pickup for it. So thank you for the idea, Albert. I might do it after the in the new year, 2024. All right, thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well, and to everybody else who's celebrating. I hope you guys really have a happy, healthy, and wonderful Christmas and New Year's Eve. I'm gonna spend mine with family, and it's gonna be great. But I'll be playing a lot because I have so many ideas that I just put down in my Notion, and they're just waiting there for me. So it's gonna be fun. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the live stream next Monday because it's a Christmas day, right? And in Sweden we celebrate Christmas on 24th, and I know that the people in the States are, if I'm not mistaken, are celebrating on 25th. I'm not sure. I'll see. If I'll do the live stream, then I'll do a special edition. And then I'll maybe keep it shorter or something, but I'm not sure. But the week after that, definitely. So I'll see you then, right? So guys, have a great one. Just looking at the chat, nothing new has come in. Great, wonderful to see you. Thanks for coming. Roy, Tech Troublemaker, Graham, Albert. Who else was there? David, of course, and Tom, Spanish Attack. Great to see you, buddy. Smaran, right? Thank you so much for coming. And Geir. So I will see you guys next time. All the best. Merry Christmas.
was in spring, one sunny day. My sweetheart left me, Lord, she went away. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Things could call me up, down and out by soul. Said, come back, Daddy, Lord, I need you so. Now she's gone, and I don't worry, 'cause I'm sitting on top of the world. Like my peaches, don't you shake my tree. Get out of my orchard, let my peaches be. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Spring, one sunny day, my sweetheart left me, now she went away. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top of the world. Now she's gone, I don't worry, but I'm sitting on top